Howdy folks. At the request of one of the viewers, I decided to do a little interlude. Today is President's Day in the United States, and it's a beautiful day here, and temperatures are fairly warm outside, so I decided to go ahead and give the Allen Mogul a test run. I'll run it on air. Just wanted to show the little unveiling there, and that's how I do. I keep it covered with some old blankets and towels and stuff when I'm not running it, just to keep the dust and grime off of it. So if you're not familiar, these are you can buy the parts from a company in Nevada. It's called Allen or Alley Supply, I believe is the name now. Used to be owned by a gentleman named Gene Allen out of California, and it changed hands a couple of times, but you can buy the castings for the driving wheels, the cylinders, steam chests, all that kind of stuff, and it's quite a bit of work. The locomotive itself took me about 8 years to build, 8 years of hobby time. It took about 2 years to build the tender. I started on the tender first, so I finished this a couple of years ago, and we were going to test run it just 2 months ago, take it out to the track, and unfortunately the vehicle had a flat tire, and very happily my friends Fred, I was with my buddy Fred and my other buddy Pete, came to the rescue, and we got a jack and had to buy a new tire. But long story short, we burned up the whole day doing that, so we didn't get to run it. So I'm going to cut the camera off now, just because my air compressor is so loud. I don't want to break your eardrums, but I'm going to turn it on. I'll fill up the air tank with air, and then we'll run it on air for a minute or two, and you can enjoy that, hopefully. Okay, welcome back. Well, the air compressor, it got up to about 80 psi. It's about, my air compressor is about 20 years old. I've rebuilt it a couple times. So without any further ado, let me show you a few more things about it. That's the steam whistle. It's right here, mounted underneath the floorboard. Sounds a lot better now that I've got it sealed up some of the leaks. I'm going to come around here. We'll put the Johnson bar in forward and run it a little bit forward. Put the Johnson bar in the aft position. We can watch them go the opposite way. It's down to about 20 psi left in the tank here. It's nice. It'll run down to about 10 psi. There we go. That's it. Now I'm going to open this valve again to take the residual air out of the air compressor. See how much we can get out of it. It's not bad. It's up to about 60 or so. So let's run it again. I love to hear that stack talk. Fred came over one day and did the timing on this several years ago. You can see how he set the timing on his YouTube channel. I filmed it and we uploaded the video of him setting the timing. He explains how to do it. This is a Stevenson's valve gear, and it's a Fred VV. I'll put either a link or his channel name in the description when I upload this video. Just love to hear that stack talk. The whistle goes down to 20 psi too. So let's run it forward just a little bit more. There we go. Back to neutral, and we'll blow it down. is the blowdown valves. I'll show you what those are in just a second here. That's important to help dry the tank out. So several key features are the blowdown valves are right here. You can see them. This is the injector. You hook up water here and it uses steam pressure when you open this valve here to pull the water in and add water to the boiler, which is important obviously as you're steaming. The hissing noise you hear now is the blowdown valves being open. We'll leave them open and let any moisture come through here. Alright, another thing I was going to do is just do a little walk around here. I thought people might be interested in seeing some of the key features of the locomotive. The cylinder cocks are down here. That was something I made by hand. And what I do when I test run it, as you can see, it's still on the stand, but what I use is some levers and pry bars and stuff. I raise the front up and put it on blocks. It's hard to see here, but it's actually sitting, the weight of the front part of the locomotive, the weight is right here on these aluminum blocks. So that keeps the front of it elevated. The driving wheels here, they're up and elevated. It would probably be a good idea if I made a rolling track for this sometime soon, just so I could set some rollers here and I wouldn't have to jack it up and down. Speaking of jacking, I use an automotive jack set underneath the rear frame member here. You can see that okay. Once I get it up enough, I put a 2x4 and a 1x4 across the track, so to speak, on my stand, and that's resting on the lower part of the frame on the brake valves there. So that's how I keep it in place. Let me just kind of walk around here, trying to minimize the camera movement and stuff so you can see the controls. This is pretty interesting. Sorry, my hands in the way there. Sorry about that, y'all. But I made these valves myself. These are quick start valves. Fred gave me his plans and it was quite a neat project, kind of like making jewelry. Ordered the pressure valve there, and I made a few of these, ordered a few of the other valves that you see here. But there's the water sight glass, throttle, and pulling it out makes it go faster. There's the Johnson bar I was talking about, the cylinder drain cocks here, open and closed, and then a steam brake valve there. This is the inside the firebox. I don't know if that will show up or not, but that's where the propane burner is on my locomotive. Other people burn coal. Sorry, my hand in the way again. That's the other side of it. I had hand painted the Frisco logo there, and I decided to order some stickers that make it look a little bit more professional, so I'm pleased how it came out. Here's the air hookup. I just run air into this is what I usually use for water into the boiler, but that's what I use for air when we want to run it on air. So I'm going to leave it up. I'll probably run on air a few more times in the next couple of months before we get to go out to the track again. So I hope that's been interesting. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great President's Day, and I'll get back to the LBSC titch. After I finish this, I was going to make the pistons for it. So take care. See y'all.